Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. People who spread their bad day around should be rounded up and put on an island. Let them make each other's lives perpetually miserable and leave the rest of us alone. Let's kick things off with a tale about two awful people. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Nearly got assaulted for being a decent human being. Backstory. I used to work for a supermarket. No, not Walmart or Target or the like. We do have several stores scattered across the Midwest, but outside of that, most people haven't even heard of them. I was normally a cashier, but after volunteering to do a job no one else wanted to do, they quickly realized how amazing I was and would schedule me in that position as much as possible. What was the job, you ask? I signed people up for store credit cards. Everyone else hated it because you'd walk around the store and get told off by customers, but since I'm a really friendly person and don't take a whole lot too personally, most people were really friendly with me and I got good sales. I enjoyed it because the walking helped keep me in shape and was easier on my feet, one of which is deformed. Long story. One of the nice things about this job was that I was allowed to wear business casual clothing when I was scheduled to do cards. I won't go into the details, but due to life happening, I'd gone back to living with my dad for a time. I don't have a car though, and since I no longer lived within walking distance at work, I had to take the bus from the nearby Kroger. On this day, I was wearing a nice blue shirt with buttons that went from the collar to the sleeves, along with some black slacks. Now, one thing that's always bothered me, especially after starting at store and really seeing just how lazy people are, is when people just leave their carts in the middle of the parking lot. I might not work for Kroger, but the dedicated employee in me would still get worked up whenever I saw this. Cast. LJ, lazy jerk. AW, awful woman. Me, you know who. So I'm sitting there waiting for the bus to come when I see LJ shove his cart on top of the little medium that encaps the parking lot. I know it's not my business, but I'm not in uniform and this really does bother me. Had I been in uniform, though, I would have left it alone in case he recognized my uniform and took it out on store. I hate when people are jerks and take advantage of companies and employees just because they're customers and can get away with it. I consider this karma for all the times I had to bite my tongue at work. Me. You know that's how people get dents in their car. LJ, I can leave it where I want. Flips me off. I sigh and get up to go grab the cart. I know it's not my job, but I have a personal rule that if you see something that's worth enough to you to speak up about, it's worth enough to do something about it. So I check my watch to make sure I've still got plenty of time till the bus comes, then get up and walk over to get the cart. I have a little trouble getting it off the median, and the cart starts to fall towards the car. I quickly catch it, though, and it doesn't even come close to hitting it. This still ticked off LJ and AW, though, and they both got out of their car. LJ, watch it, you almost hit my car. Me. So, it's okay for other people's cars to get dented, but not yours? I hate hypocrites. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. LJ towers over me and tries to be intimidating. If you effing touch my car. Me scoffs. Go ahead, there's cameras everywhere. AW, you effing B, I'm telling Lois, you'll be sorry. Me, go ahead, I don't work here. I'm just a decent human being trying to look out for other people. A concept you wouldn't understand. I take the cart back to the store and put it away before going back to the bus stop, and LJ and AW leave. While I waited, I let a store employee know what happened, worried that they might call to complain so they'd know what happened and that none of their staff was to blame. I knew they thought that I worked there because my shirt was the same color as the uniform, and AW threatened to tell on me and didn't want an innocent person to get in trouble on my account. I also called the store later that day during my break so I could let a manager know as well. And our second story. Entered a fake Facebook contest and got the entire page taken down. This happened about 6 years ago when I was 17 years old. At the time, I was really into drones and was spending a good 2 hours a day watching drone footage and daydreaming about buying a DJI Phantom 2. One day, while browsing drone videos on Facebook, I came across a page called Drone Uplift with loads of likes and tons of cool videos of drones and accessories. To my delight, I saw that this page was holding a giveaway in partnership with a popular drone for a DJI Phantom 4. The basis of this giveaway was in just over a month from now, whichever Facebook user on their page had interacted the most would be selected as the winner and be sent the drone. At this time, I was pretty comfortable with my high school classes and was working a part-time job. The giveaway had started a couple days prior, so I decided I'd pour all my free time into winning this drone. I went back on every post, and I'm talking probably around 200 at this point, and liked it, tagged my friends and coworkers, and commented something I thought was interesting. That's not where I stopped. I got all my friends and coworkers to start replying to any of my comments. I tagged them in and even started the drone club at my school with the premise of everyone interacting with my comments to aid in my affairs. At its peak, I probably had around 50 people regularly liking and replying to my comments on posts that had around 20 comments max. I also noticed that this Facebook page had yet to start using Instagram. I checked if the handle Drone Uplift was available and grabbed it right away. I created a login for the handle and messaged the Facebook page, telling them they could log in, change the password, and secure it for their own purposes. They replied thanking me, secured the handle, and posted a video there within the week. The week leading up to the giveaway date, I'm feeling pretty effing pumped. I'm the top contributor by far on the page, and everyone I know is telling me I'm a clear winner for the giveaway. The date of the giveaway comes up, and to my dismay, I don't win. They announced the winner as James Wilkins or something like that. Now, I remember at this point, I know this Facebook page inside out. I immediately search through the page and find only 10 posts with this guy interacting. I message the page asking about their decision, and they just give me some bullcrap about his comments being more relevant than mine. I'm feeling pretty lame at this point, so I emailed the drone store that they partnered up with, asking about their involvement in the decision process. They mentioned that they weren't aware of any giveaway partnership. Next, I look into this guy's Facebook account, and it was made the same time that the giveaway was. I started to understand that I had been played a fool. Now I'm choked and embarrassed. I involved so many people in my life to help with this whole ordeal, and I feel like I wasted all of their time. I had to do something. Mind you, I tried to contact Facebook about the whole thing, but wasn't getting any response back. I screenshotted the entire ordeal and sent it to the rep from the shop I was talking to and told him this page was making them look really bad with a fake giveaway. His reply said something along the lines of, "Thank you, we're now investigating this issue and considering legal action." Nice. I didn't stop there. I took screenshots of those emails too and created my own Facebook page called Drone Uplift is a Scam and posted the entire thing on the page. Then I messaged everyone that I noticed was a high contributor to the page during my previous month of diligence with my story and had them post about their interaction as well. My page ends up getting decent traction with people talking about how pissed they were that the whole thing was fake, so that whenever you search for their page on Facebook, mine showed up right below it. A week later, their entire page and Instagram had been removed, and I never saw them again. I checked probably every month after that to see if they would attempt to return, but my personal vendetta had been satisfied. Sucks that you had to get scammed to figure out their ploy. Sorry, 17-year-old you had to go through that. Well done for investigating and letting others know about so they don't get harmed any further. And our next story. And our last story. No bridges allowed. So some family members bought a small island a while back to live on. They went to great lengths when they were deciding to buy it to make sure they could build a bridge to it. It's less than 400 feet across. I don't think there were ever going to be center supports needed. It was going to be a small, tasteful, blend in with the country scenery kind of bridge that no one would see. They're very earth-friendly people. They were 90% of the way through getting it approved, including sign-off from the Parks Transportation Authority, even a nearby Aboriginal council. Everyone was happy, so they bought the island and started to renovate the house on it. Then, out of nowhere, comes an intern at City Hall or something who's like, "Whoa, wait, there are new rules in that area. It's a historical area. No building within 500 feet of the shoreline. Denied." So they were a bit put out, not wanting to have to row a boat over to their house every night after work. Might be nice midday, but think carrying groceries at 8 p.m. and it's raining. So the brainstorming starts. We had silly ideas, everything from catapults to giant slides going each direction, until I suggested they just buy a 400-foot yacht and park it sideways. Drive on one side, drive off the other. This was shot down because you can't dock anything that doesn't leave at least 5 feet or something like that of open water in the middle of the channel for small boats to pass through. So how about 2 boats with a tiny drawbridge between them? Now we're talking. Fast forward another half hour of talking, and we're at the final solution they're happily using right now. 5 normal-sized pontoon boats with 3 linked together parked on one shore and 2 linked together and parked on the other, and a small drop bridge in the middle. Each boat is properly licensed and has all the tags and everything. Every summer they drop a small motor on a couple of them and take them for a drive around the lake. No one can say they aren't boats, and there's nothing against docking boats in a straight line across the water as long as you leave open water in the middle. This is my favorite malicious compliance story from my own life so far. And our last story. Condo Chaos, a tree trouble tale. My mom's a big tree person. She loves how they look, so she gets sensitive when people mistreat them. So we lived in a condo community that had a condo association. We were pretty lax people, but things started to change when a bunch of parents with young kids started moving in. In the end, it was a group of maybe 7 kids to 3 families. They were fine at first, and we didn't really mind the mess of kids, bikes in the yard areas, so on and so forth. Just kid crap. My mom was one of 10, and I'm one of 3, so no one gave a crap. Eventually, the kids noticed they were big enough to climb the decorative trees, but being decorative trees, they couldn't handle multiple kids pulling, jumping, and ripping the trees around day after day. So the association started having to buy new trees and charge the whole complex as branches were being ripped off and trees damaged till they started to die. They just weren't climbing trees, so my mom slowly lost it, spoke to multiple parents and to the kids multiple times, asking them to stop climbing the trees. The parents told their kids not to stop, that the trees were theirs and not the community's. Mind you, anything not on the porch was considered communal space. It got to the point where when my mom asked, the kid literally told her to shove off. This is my tree. We paid for it. So maybe 12 changed out trees in, multiple phone arguments to parents, multiple calls, emails, and letters to the board, and nothing being done because the parents were friends with the board. My mom lost it and yelled at some kids to get off the trees or she'd call the cops on them. Kids went crying off to their parents. More nasty calls were exchanged. One incident with a face-to-face argument with a parent telling my mom not to parent her kids. My mom told her if she was a better mother, she wouldn't have to. A few days later, we were relaxing, watching a movie in our living room when we heard chanting from outside. We look out the window to see all the neighborhood kids, metal gardening tools in hand, hacking and ripping the bark off the large tree directly next to our house. We lived on different strips than the kids, so they had no real reason to be at that tree compared to any other, chanting, "Kill, kill, kill the tree." Now, the thing that was most effed up about this is these kids were like 6 to 9. My mom went ballistic and started filming the kids as evidence. She began to write up an email when we got a knock on the door. A police officer stood, saying they'd received a report about someone videotaping local children. My mom explained the issue and showed the cop the video as proof. The cop just laughed, said, "Don't do it again." The condo association also told us not to film children without parent permission as a response to our email. We moved out about a year later.